Hey guys, so today is going to be a bit of a shorter video. We're going to be talking about just one play call today. So hopefully the video is going to be on a bit on the shorter side compared to some of the other videos I've done. So let's get right to it. So the play today that we're talking about is called 05 Solid Weak Green Sam or Weak Green Sikkim. This is just one way to call this type of play in terms of play calling language. You can obviously different systems might call this type of scheme through different words. You might have different meanings for different words and use kind of different jargon to describe this call. But today we're going to be calling it 05 Weak. Let me write this out here. Weak Green Sam. Oh, forgot the solid. So, but yeah, what that call is it's a green dog blitz, which we're gonna talk about in today's video, and each part of this name has a meaning to it. So that's how play calling usually works, right? So you've got maybe what seems to be like a complicated long name like 05 Solid Weak Green Sam. But each part of this call, each word in this call or number has a meaning behind it, and how we're going to go about breaking this type of call down is we're going to explain the call in parts. So the first part that we're going to explain is the first part of or the first few parts of the call. So it's 05 Solid. That's the first part we're going to talk about, and that is the front call. Side note, we're going to talk about Weak Green Sam as later in the video. That's the pressure call, but we're going to start with the 05 Solid. So that is your front call, okay? And what that means is that's going to be the call for what your defensive lineman or your front seven is going to do. So kind of likewise to if it was an offensive play call, you might liken it to the part of the play that is referring to what protection is going to be called, what protection is going to be going on. So this is going to be the front call, and we're going to start with the 0. So the 0 here in 05 Solid Weak means that we're going to have a nose tackle who's going to line up in the 0 technique, which means the 0 technique is right opposite the center. All right, so this nose tackle is going to be right here. He's going to be face to face with the center. Just a quick overview of different types of techniques. Real quick, we've got a 0 across from the center. You've got 1 in between the center and the guard. So we'll do 1, then 2. Pretty simple from there on out. 3, 4, 5 in between, 6 here, and then depending on however many players you have outside. So like here, this is going to be a tight end. I added it for the purpose of this video. He's not going to be split. Depending on how many players you have outside, you just keep counting the numbers, right? So same thing over here. You're gonna have 1, 2 in between, 3, 4, and then so on, right? So that's a quick overview of how techniques are kind of called. And so again, the nose tackle is going to be the 0 technique, and that is that for the nose tackle. So that's the 0 part of the 05 Solid call. Now the next number is 5, right? So the next person we're going to be talking about is usually defensive linemen. So there's going to be 2 of them. They're going to line up in the 5-eye technique. And that means that they're going to be on the outside off the offensive tackle, right? Because this is the guard. Terrible. Sorry. But you get the gist, right? So this is the guard. You got a tackle here, and he's going to be on the outside because you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be inside right here. So the defensive lineman going to have an end here, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an end on this side, right? So that's the 05. Now solid is referring to the Sam. So the Sam linebacker, the strong side linebacker, he's also going to be involved in the front, and he's going to creep up. And what you would have to study to play to know this, but he's going to be in the 7 technique. So that's why I added the tight end for those purposes. That we're going to need to count 1 more, right? So if this is the 5, this is the 6 across from the tight end. 7 is going to be even wider than the tight end. He's going to be coming off the edge. So this is going to be the Sam right here, right? Let's just say You have a 3-4 front, a 3-4 defense. So Sam has crept up. You got maybe, let's say, the strong safety, Mike, and the Will here. I didn't include the receivers in this because we're just not going to be talking about them. Also did not include the corners and the safeties, other than strong safety here, because we're not going to be talking about them. We're really just talking about, this is a blitz call, right? From a defensive perspective, defensive play call. So we don't really need the perimeter players. We don't have to talk about them in this play. So we covered O, we covered 5, and we covered solid, right? So O5, again, nose tackle, you got the 5-eye technique, which is going to be, the 5-5 technique right here, the end. And then you also got a 7 technique, Sam, who's going to be off the edge, and he's going to be rushing as well. So that is the front call, O5 solid. Now, we're going to talk about weak green Sam. Now, weak green Sam is, like I said earlier in the video, touched on it pretty quickly, is the pressure call. The pressure call means, okay, the front call was how our front is set up, right? How our front 7 is going to be set up, how our defensive front is going to be playing this, and our pressure call is going to be what is actually going on with these players in this play, like how are we actually blitzing. So when we talk about the pressure call, the green weak sick'em, right? Each word has a meaning here. We know it's a blitz. So sick'em or Sam, same thing, right? You kind of get the idea. It's a green dog blitz. We'll talk about what that means later, but sick'em and dogs, kind of mesh as well. But the sick'em refers to the Sam. They're kind of interchangeable here. And what Sam right here in this play call means is simply that he is going to be blitzing. The Sam is going to be coming off the edge. Okay, that's all you got to know for the Sam. Now, weak green. What does weak green mean? And this is basically the most important part of what a green dog blitz is. This is really this is the meat. This is it. Green dog blitz is the weak side linebacker. That's all you're really talking about here is the weak side linebacker. He's going to need the green light to blitz. It's not an all-out blitz from him. This weak side linebacker, the Will. It's not an all-out blitz. He's going to need a green light to him, or a green light to blitz. And what is that green light, you might ask? Well, it's going to be dependent on what his guy who he's supposed to be guarding, his man, the running back right here, called the halfback, what he's going to do. So depending on what this halfback does, we're going to be able to figure out if the Will gets the green light or not. So the two things that the halfback can do is he's going to stay in protection, or he can loop out and he can run a route. So if the halfback stays in protection, that's one less player for the Will to guard because he's not going to be going out into space here. So the Will is going to come on the blitz. That's the green light, right? If he stays in protection, that is the green light for the Will to blitz. And that's basically what the green dog blitz is. If the halfback, now, I mean, it's kind of intuitive, but if the halfback goes into the flat or, just runs any type of route, the Will is not going to get the green light to blitz. He's going to have to stay in coverage because if he does come to blitz, this halfback's going to be wide open, regardless of the route he's running, wherever he's going, right? So this Will, he's going to need the green light to come. If he doesn't get it and this halfback goes, this Will, he's going to have to get the halfback. And he's going to play man with him. He's not going to play zone. What I just drew there might have looked like he just plays the flat zone. He does not. He plays man with the halfback if he goes out into a route. So, again, that's the green dog blitz. The Will is basically the focal point of the play here. Is he's going to need the green light to blitz. If the halfback stays in protection, he's going to come. If the halfback goes on a route, then Will's going to play man with the halfback. On the other end, the Sam is going to come on a blitz. So that's basically going to be, usually for your 3-4 defense, we rush 3, we're going to be adding a 4th one. Then if we get the green light, we're adding a 5th one. And Sam, sick'em, interchangeable. I mean, basically the same thing here. And he's going to be coming on a blitz no matter what. Again, weak green Sam. That's the point of weak green because he's a weak side linebacker and he needs the green light. Sam coming off a blitz no matter what. That's the pressure call. Handwriting is not on point today, guys. And the front call is 05 solid. We talked about that as well. 0 implies that the nose tackle is going to be in the 0 technique opposite the center. The 5 technique, we did a quick overview of how techniques are kind of counted. You got 0 in the middle, across from the center, 1 inside, 2 across the guard, 3 inside, 4 across the tackle, 5 inside, and so on. And that's where our ends are going to be in a 3-4 defense usually. They're going to be in the 5 technique for this play. That's what 05 means. And then solid, again, is the Sam mean. Sam's going to be a part. He's going to creep down. He's going to be a part of the front call. So he's going to be in the 7 technique. That's not something you're going to get from the play call. That the fact that Sam's going to be in the 7 technique, but you just got to know that. So there it is. It was a shorter video today, but I hope you guys enjoyed. And that's again, this could be called in various different ways, but this is, if you hear 05 solid weak green for some reason, maybe you're out on the street and you hear someone say that, you're going to know what the play call is. You're going to know what it means and what each part of the call is. And again, in different systems, coaches might use different words, but this is one way I've heard it, and that's how you play the green dog blitz in this situation. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.